Thanks again to our friends here at Timms Harley Davidson in Anderson, South Carolina. Today we're going to review the 2021 Heritage Softail Classic in the Midnight Crimson Stonewash White. Now, as far as I can remember, this bike has remained pretty much unchanged, styling and looks wise. They've updated it, it is modern, it's got all the modern features, but with the styling and looks of this bike, it stayed pretty true to form since the beginning. So we'll start our walk around with the tank badge. Not a huge deal to some people, but it is to me. I really like a clean badge, sticker, logo, however Harley chooses to put the Harley Davidson name on the tank is important to me. This is a new badge. I haven't seen this one yet. I really like this style. I feel like it fits. The size is good for the size of the tank. The styling and the font work really well, especially on the Heritage. I don't know if we'll see this one on any of the other Softail models, but I do really like it on the Heritage. This particular bike comes with the 107 cubic inch Milwaukee 8. You've got the laced spoke wheels, which really fit this bike. There's no other wheels Harley could do on this bike. It's such a classic styling that it almost has to have the spokes on there. You do get the windshield standard on the Heritage. It is a quick detach, so if you want to pop it off, pop it on, all you do is you don't need any tools. You just pick it up and out, that thing will pop off. It's really nice to have on the longer rides, but if you're doing something shorter or just going around town, you may want to pop it off so you can feel the wind a little bit better. The seat, I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't love these. I'm glad they moved away from the studs. I'm not sure, these are still metal, but at least they're not the little round ones. I don't know, to me, those were just a little too dated. These do look a lot better, and they are black, so they blend in a little better. The profile of that seat is great, and comfort-wise, it's absolutely perfect. I don't know about that passenger. Your passenger may want a little better seat, but the driver's seat is great. On your dash, they kept it pretty simple. You have your analog speedo. Everything else is going to be digital on this bike, which is fine. I mean, we are in 2021 after all. So same as most of the models, it's going to show you how many miles are on here. Trip A, trip B, how many miles till empty, your clock, your RPM gauge is digital. Some people like that better, some people don't like it. I mean, I think it's good, it's fine, it works. Now, I'm glad that Harley has moved to the hard bags. You've been able to get hard bags on the Heritage for a few model years now, but the old leather bags just got sad and droopy and really worn out looking, and obviously weren't that secure. So the newer style has a locking latch on top. You just press it, you get in there. You've got a good amount of space to keep your stuff dry and somewhat secure. If you don't like the look of the bags or you want a more sleek look, you know, just running around town, all it takes is these two screws right here and you can pop these things off. If you check the other Heritage video that I've done, you can see how much you can actually change this bike and how much the look changes when you take those saddlebags off. So being a Softail model that's designed for longer trips, Harley does put the floorboards on the Heritage, which is a good fit, a good feel. Puts your feet in that forward riding position. So being that the Heritage is made for longer rides, they do give you the floorboards on here, which is definitely a good fit. Mid controls just wouldn't work on this bike. So they give you these big, nice floorboards, which are super comfortable if you want to stretch out over longer rides. So we do have to dock Harley for this. We've got the LED passing lamps, fog lamps, whatever you want to call them, with the LED headlight, but we're still running halogen turn signals. Why? I'm not sure. I can't imagine that would have taken a whole lot of money for Harley to upgrade those. Now, I mean, I get that it's not like a make or break deal as far as selling the bike, no one's gonna buy it because it's got LED turn signals. Likewise, they're not gonna not buy it because it has halogens, but that would have been a nice upgrade for Harley to do so that you didn't have to. And I guess I spoke a little too soon, because when you move to the back, I see that the tail light is also halogen. Obviously the rear turn signals are as well. So I guess we've got to wait another year before Harley does full LED on the Heritage. Since they had one on the floor, I just wanted to show you guys, this is a 2020, not a 21 bike, but nothing has changed on the Heritage. So the exact same bike, different color. However, this one does have the 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8, and on those they do the blacked out look. So since the other one we were looking at has the 107 and is all chromed out, I thought I would show you guys what the Heritage looks like blacked out. This is a little more my style, but I know that's not for everyone. Also, let us not forget this bad girl here. I did do a full review and test ride on this bike. This is also a 2020 Heritage, but looks a little different. We did paint, bars, exhaust, air ride suspension, fat spoke wheels. This bike has a ton of upgrades. I'll put the link for that video in the description, so when you finish this one, you can check this bike out. This thing is awesome. Overall, I do like the Heritage. I know with a lot of the younger guys like myself, I mean, I'm 33, I still consider myself young, probably think it looks like an old man's bike. And I mean, it's a classic styling. It is, you know, what you've seen for a good many years. The Heritage has gone fairly unchanged since it came out. But it rides so good, it's so comfortable. If I was gonna go on, say, a 2-hour ride somewhere, and a Heritage was an option, I'd have no trouble taking it. So let's get this baby out and put it through its paces. Always enjoy riding the Heritage. When I worked for Harley, I would take different used bikes to lunch just to ride different bikes, literally. And always enjoyed taking the Heritage. Just super comfortable, smooth, kind of like the Fat Boy in that it makes you want to cruise, you know, just kind of enjoy the ride. But unlike the Fat Boy, this one does have the cruise control, which I feel like all these cruiser type bikes should have, but I left the windshield on. Typically I take it off, but actually maybe I should have taken it off for the view. That's been, if this is your first video, this is an ongoing thing. People loving or hating the view. The idea being to give you guys the view that you would have riding it. I mean, obviously the camera's a little lower, but so it's a GoPro chest mount. And I do plan to add a second, maybe even a third angle at some point, but mounting it to the helmet just seemed like then you don't really see much of the bike, so we're still working that part out. These forward controls feel good. You know, like I said, it's just a kick back, relax type of riding style. I think that's why some guys that don't want to move up to the touring family, say like a Road King, end up doing a ton of miles on the Heritage. You know, it's set up like a Road King, a little smaller frame, so honestly not going to be as comfortable as the Road King, especially for 2-up riding, but it'll definitely get the job done. Hopefully we don't have to sit at this red light too long. And we've been really lucky on these test rides that once we hit this little loop right up here where we turn, we haven't gotten stuck behind any cars that I can recall. This is like test ride 7 or 8, I think. Open it up a little bit. Super smooth, as you would expect the Milwaukee 8 to be. It's not cold, but it is chilly today, so actually happy I left the windshield on, and hopefully it's not blocking the view for you guys watching. And just like with the Sportster, the gas light is on, but this one does have the range option. The Sportster didn't show you the range, how many miles were left, which is obviously just an estimate, but with this one, it says we've got plenty. And I trust that, you know, because even if it's half of what it says it is, we'll still get back. You know, like I said in the walk around portion, you know, some younger guys may dismiss the Heritage as an option, but dude, this thing, you can throw it around. Like, it feels comfortable to push a little harder in the corners. It's our bump test here on the bridge. Sometimes it looks way worse on camera than it feels, but I mean, that felt pretty dang good. Good as in, you know, it was smooth. Branch in the road would be an issue if you were passing a car going the other way, or a car came into your lane to avoid it. Normally I would stop and move that if I was in my truck. I'll open this thing up for you guys in just a second, as long as the road's clear. Yeah, so this being the 107, you know, I know a lot of guys are big on those numbers. This 107 has plenty. I mean, that 114 is awesome. I've said that in all my review videos of anything with the 114. Out of the whole, this 107 is about the same. I don't know the power numbers off the top of my head, but neither of them, you know, are bad. The 107 is 7 inches smaller. There's no slug compared to the 114. Now, would I rather have the 114? Absolutely. Especially when you're going to do the engine kits. You know, if you've got the 114, you can go to the 131. The 107 is a 120. What do they let you take those up to? Like 124, 128, something like that. Either way, you can't do the 131 if you have the 107. So that's the main reason I would want the 114. If you don't plan to go that far, you're just going to do like a stage 2 or stage 3, then by all means, the 107 is completely fine. And I do like the 114 option because it comes blacked out. So if I had a Heritage, I would probably prefer that look. So again, the 114 would win for me, but that's a personal preference. Looks great in chrome too, so. Double checking that range real quick to make sure. And we do have gas at the shop, and I can gas these things up, but let's be honest, that's a whole lot of extra work, which is probably worth it when I'm doing 2 to 3 review videos in a day, but we'll be good. Not a whole lot of testing, if you will, going down when we're stuck behind these cars, but I think that back road kind of gave you a good idea. Tons of power, super comfortable. Obviously the brakes are great. I mean, it's a 2021 bike. Like, I don't know why you'd expect anything otherwise. You know, the Milwaukee 8's been out for a while now, proving itself on reliability, smoothness. Harley's never really had a problem with their braking that I've noticed, so that's all good. As far as changing stuff on this bike, let's see, I would do a set of pipes. I would just do full exhaust, open air cleaner, stage 1 tuner. Maybe a set of cams if it were mine and I were going to keep it for a while. Do the LED lights that Harley did not do. That'd probably be it,
honestly. That's all it really needs for me. But as we're getting back to the dealership, I'd like to remind you guys to subscribe. I can see like 90 some odd % of the viewers are not subscribed, and I'm guilty of it too. I watch people's videos over and over and don't subscribe, but it would help me out a lot if you do. Same thing with giving the video a thumbs up. That helps a lot. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. You liked it, you didn't like it, change this, change that, something you want to see, something you'd want me to talk about in the future, etc. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.